Good morning, children. Already we have studied the changes that has been taken place in India after independence. So the journey of 30 years of India after independence. So after independence, what are the changes that has been taken place in India? So when India was freed from the Britishers, India was not doing anything. The Britishers left the India with empty hands. From that point, they have to start working on development. So many tasks were there before the Indian leaders. Among them, one is to implement the constitution in India, to make the country as a republican country. There is democracy type of government to be established in India. That was the one task. Second is conducting of elections. Third is uplift of poverty in India, literacy rate, to develop, to improve literacy rate. Like that, many issues were there before the leaders of India after independence. So in the 1950, 26 January, our Indian Constitution came into force. That we all studied in the previous chapter. Who are responsible for preparing the draft Constitution? How much time it has taken? All those things we have studied in our previous classes. After that, on 26 January 1950, when the Constitution of India came into force, the next work to be done is conducting of elections in India. So conducting of elections in India is a long run process. It is a big task for the Indians to conduct the elections. Why means in India many people are illiterate. They are not educated at that time. And it is a problem for the Indian leaders to conduct elections, to maintain democracy in the country. Anyhow, one election commission has been set up, and then he has conducted the elections, simple, fair and clear elections in their 1952. First general elections were held in their 1952. At that time, the election commissioner was Mr. Sukumar Sen, the first election commissioner of India. So, to gather all people of India, or to let all the people of India catch their votes, for that purpose, he has given symbols to different parties, to different symbols. For example, Congress party has given some hand symbol, some TDP party has given some cycle. Like the different parties, he has given different symbols. Why he has given that means to attract all people, to let all the people of India catch their votes for that purpose. So that was the process that has been taken place. 1952 first general elections were held. Still, so what were the tasks before India was having means? Different tasks were there. Among them, one is Constitution of India, then conducting elections in India. After that, demand for state reorganization. Here, after the formation of, or after the independence, many people of India are fighting to have a separate state. When India was separated by the Britishers, So on 15th August 1947, India was separated. When India was separated, at the time, the reorganized states on the base. The Britishers separated states on the basis of language. On the basis of language. Yes. So during the British period, the country was divided into presidencies. So now we are discussing about this topic. During the British period, the country, total India, was divided into presidencies like Calcutta, Madras, and Bombay. So they have divided into presidencies and of very large states large states like central provinces and wherever. A large part of the country was under the princely states. So when India was divided, at that time it has been divided. The British has divided the states into presidencies. What are the presidencies? Means Calcutta, Bombay, and Madras. So a large part of the India was under the central provinces. Here, many other states were not divided on the basis of languages. Thereafter, the partition of India on the basis of the partition of India or the partition of the country on the basis of secular language or religion had created doubts in the minds of the leaders. So if the country is divided into states on the basis of religion, so Muslim religion one state, Hindu religion one state, if it divides, then it will be a mess and the country will become into pieces. Not to happen that they haven't divided the state on the basis of religion. So one state, Hindus one state, Muslims one state, Parsis one state, like that they haven't divided. So if they divide like that, then they demand for separate status of countries. Like that will happen. Not to happen that the leaders hasn't done that. Then the most vigorous of all movements was that of the Telugu speakers, which called upon the Congress to implement the old resolution in favor of linguistic states. So the very fast vigorous movement was there among the Telugu speakers. The Telugu speakers want a separate state on the basis of language. So we all the people are speaking Telugu language, so you have to give it separate status. Separate state as Telugu state, Telugu Desham, Telugu state, like that. That was the demand by the Andhra Pradesh people, those who are speaking Telugu language. But that has become a very big headache. Continuous movements were going on in Telugu, in Andhra Pradesh. That is among the Telugu states. So Jawaharlal Nehru was not opposed to linguistic states. Yes, at that time, Jawaharlal Nehru and other cabinet ministers are opposing to divide the states on the basis of religion. Religion మీద స్టేట్ ని డివైడ్ కాకూడదని అపోజ్ చేస్తున్నారు. కానీ లాంగ్వేజ్ మీద స్టేట్ ని డివైడ్ చేయొచ్చు అని జవహర్లాల్ నెహ్రూ has accepted that. On the basis of language, it is very good to divide the state like that. So, Potti Sriramulu, next, State Reorganization Act. Potti Sriramulu, a person who is mainly responsible to have a separate state of Andhra. He has gone for hunger strike continuously for 58 days Patti Sri Ramulu is one of the name of the person who belongs to Andhra state, Andhra Pradesh. He is a Telugu speaker. He has realized the disadvantages are not getting benefits to the Andhra state. For that purpose, he went on hunger strike, and he did hunger strike continuously for 58 days. In that, he died also. After that, the demand from Patti Sri Ramulu was that he wanted a separate state as a Telugu speaking state. That was he was a part this. In the 1952, in December 1952 he died. Consequently, the states of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh were created. Earlier, Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh used to be a single state. After this person, Mr. Patti Sri Ramulu, the state has been divided into two parts. One is Andhra Pradesh and the other is Tamil Nadu. In August 1953, one committee has been formed. The name of the committee is State Reorganization Committee. 1953 ఆగస్ట్ నెలలో ఒక కమిటీ ఏర్పడింది. ఆ కమిటీ పేరు వచ్చేసి స్టేట్ రీఆర్గనైజేషన్ కమిటీ. ఆ కమిటీలో ఎవరెవరు ఉన్నారంటే ఫజల్ అలీ, కేఎం పనికర్ and Hridaynath Kundru as the members to address the issues. Yes, these are the members of the committee. Yes or C means State Reorganization Committee, which was established in the year 1953 in the month of August. Who are the members means Hridaynath, Fazal Ali, KM Panikar. These are the members of the committee, and these committee members are addressing to the people. If they have any issues in the state matters or in the matters of language, then you can come forward. We are ready to discuss. So after continuous discussions made by the people and these committee members, they came out with one organization, with one act. In the year 1956, one act was formed, that is State Reorganization Act. ఎప్పుడు ఏర్పడింది 1956 State Reorganization Act. After the formation of State Reorganization Act, 14 states were formed and 6 union territories were formed. ఎప్పుడు in the 1956 State Reorganization Act ఒక చట్టం ఏర్పడిన తర్వాత ఇండియాలో స్టేట్స్ ని డివైడ్ చేసినారు. ఇంతకుముందు ప్రెసిడెన్సీస్, ప్రావిన్షియల్స్ అట్లా డివైడ్ చేసి వెళ్ళిపోయినారు బ్రిటిషర్స్. దాని తర్వాత 1956లో ఒక కమిటీ ఏర్పడింది. ఆ కమిటీ పేరు వచ్చేసి ఏమి స్టేట్ రీఆర్గనైజేషన్ కమిటీ. ఆ కమిటీ మెంబర్స్ డిస్కస్ చేసి స్టేట్ ని డివైడ్ చేస్తే బాగుంటుందని నెహ్రూకి చెప్పినారు. దెన్ నెహ్రూ హ్యాస్ టేకన్ దట్ అండ్ హీ హ్యాస్ మేడ్ వన్ లా. దట్ లా ఇస్ స్టేట్ రీఆర్గనైజేషన్ యాక్ట్ దట్ వాస్ ఫార్మ్ ఇన్ ద ఇయర్ 1956. ఆ లా ఫామ్ అయిన తర్వాత స్టేట్ ని ఇండియాని డివైడ్ చేసినారు. ఏ విధంగా డివైడ్ చేసినారు? 14 స్టేట్స్, 6 యూనియన్ టెరిటరీస్ గా డివైడ్ చేసినారు. రైట్. నెక్స్ట్, సోషల్ అండ్ ఎకనామిక్ చేంజ్. Social and economic change. So the Constituent Assembly had called for social, economic and political, the Constituent Assembly had called for social, economic and political justice and equality of status and opportunity. It put economic change at the top of the agenda of modern India. So the Constituent Assembly means who here? The makers of the Constitution. In the 1946లోనే ఒక కాన్స్టిట్యూంట్ అసెంబ్లీ ఏర్పడింది. డాక్టర్ బాబు రాజేంద్ర ప్రసాద్ వచ్చేసి దాని చైర్మన్. గుర్తుందా? సో అట్ దట్ టైమ్ కాన్స్టిట్యూంట్ అసెంబ్లీలో డ్యూరింగ్ దట్ పీరియడ్ the main agenda of the Constituent Assembly was to bring out social, economic, political equality status to all the people of India and opportunity to all the people of India. For that purpose, The planning commission was set up. Planning commission set up చేసినారు ఆ పర్పస్ సోషల్ ఎకనామిక్ చేంజెస్ డెవలప్మెంట్ కోసమే. The planning commission was set up within a month of the inauguration of the new constitution. సో మనకి ఇనాగరేషన్ ఎప్పుడు కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ ఎప్పుడైతే ఏర్పడిందో ఇంప్లిమెంట్ ఫోర్స్లోకి వచ్చిందో 26 జనవరి 1950 కాన్స్టిట్యూషన్ కేమ్ ఇన్ టు ఫోర్స్. ఆ రోజు గడిచిన ఒక నెలకే, అంటే ఇన్ ద మంత్ ఆఫ్ ఫిబ్రవరి ఆర్ ఇన్ ద మంత్ ఆఫ్ ఫస్ట్ వీక్ ఆఫ్ మార్చ్ లో ఒక కమిషన్ సెటప్ అయింది. ద నేమ్ ఆఫ్ ద కమిషన్ వాజ్ ప్లానింగ్ కమిషన్. సో వై దే హ్యావ్ ఎస్టాబ్లిష్ ఎ ప్లానింగ్ కమిషన్ మీన్స్ టు bring out social and economic changes in the people of India. For that purpose, they set up one planning commission. The first 5-year plan was focused on agriculture and stressed on the need for the increase of food production, development, transport, communications, and provisions of social services. So, first 5-year plan manaki chesi ప్లానింగ్ కమిషన్ సెటప్ అయిన తర్వాత ఫస్ట్ 5-year ప్లాన్ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఫస్ట్ 5-year ప్లాన్లో దే గేవ్ ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఆన్ అగ్రికల్చర్ అండ్ అగ్రికల్చర్ డెవలప్మెంట్, అగ్రికల్చర్ ప్రొడక్షన్ ఇంక్రీజ్, ట్రాన్స్పోర్టేషన్, దెన్ ఫుడ్ ప్రొడక్షన్ ఇంక్రీజ్, డెవలప్మెంట్, ట్రాన్స్పోర్టేషన్, కమ్యూనికేషన్. All this has been set up. So during the first 5-year plan only, some new multi-purpose dams or agriculture dams were constructed. Among them, the first multi-purpose dam was the Barkanangal Dam. That was constructed in the year 1960. అది ఫస్ట్ 5-year ప్లాన్లోనే వచ్చింది అది. నా దీంట్లో మనకి సోషల్ అండ్ ఎకనామిక్ చేంజ్ ఇన్ దట్ ఓన్లీ ఇన్ సోషల్ అండ్ ఎకనామిక్ చేంజ్ the government has brought out one separate laws, that is 3 types of laws has been introduced. 3 types of land reforms has been introduced by the Indian government. What are the 3 types of land reform means? One is abolition of zamindari system, second is tenancy and reform, and the third one is land ceiling. These are the 3 reforms. These are the 3 acts, or these are the 3 types of land reforms which was introduced by the Indian government. One is abolition of zamindari system, the second is land tenancy, and the third one is land ceiling act. These are the 3 things which were introduced by the Indian government to give the land to the landless farmers and to say all farmers and to produce all farmers agriculture products for that purpose. Next, so foreign policy and wars. So after the independence, when India became independent, the Cold War has just begun and the world was being polarized into countries in the US and USSR camp. Yes. So foreign and US policy and US wars. When the world was divided, when India got freedom, at that time there was a Cold War between the 2 camps. One is USSR and the other is US. The 2 groups, USSR and US, that is United States of America and United Soviet Socialist Republic. That is America and Russia has made 2 big blocs and they are collecting their neighboring countries and asking to support. So the America is asking India to support. America is asking India to support and Russia is also asking India to support. In that, suppose if India joins in Russia means America will become enemy. If India joins America means Russia will become enemy. So for that purpose, Jawaharlal Nehru has become neutral. He hasn't supported to any of the countries. He hasn't supported to America or he hasn't supported to Russia. He become neutral. Why? He don't want to become enemy of any one country. Why? Because so India got independence now itself. Again, if India gives support to one country, then another country will become rival. That is enemy. So not to happen that he hasn't joined any of the country. and he has formed a separate non-alignment country. Non-alignment country means, so he is not willing to join any of the countries, and he has formed separate one organization, that is non-alignment countries. In that, many countries joined him. That was the foreign policy. So during foreign policy, India, yes. So at that time, how many countries joined means Indonesia, Yugoslavia, Egypt, and so on. Another non-alignment movement was joined. So India faced war. Not only that, India faced wars with many countries like Pakistan. India faced wars with Pakistan 3 times. In their 1948, in their 1965, in their 1971. India faced 3 wars with Pakistan. Another war with China. India faced war with China also in their 1962. 1962 లో ఇండియా చైనాతో కూడా యుద్ధం చేసింది. రైట్. The succession means when the Nehru was died. So Nehru died in the year 1964. So you have to remember the dates also, children. This is complete case. In the death of Nehru in 1964, critics raised doubts on as to whether democracy itself would survive. So the Congress, however, managed a successful transition with the choosing of Lal Bahadur Shastri as its leader in the government. Shastri immediately put to test with a series of issues which challenged fundamental values and goals of the Indian nation. Yes. So after the death of the succession, after the death of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in the year 1964, all the Indians are thinking that the democracy may be on hold, or again we may lose democracy. Then the Congress leaders immediately took one senior most leader of Congress, that is Lal Bahadur Shastri. They appointed Lal Bahadur Shastri as the Prime Minister of India. And he has set up and he has taken the oath and he started working on the development process and putting country under control as well as on democracy. So like this the changes has been taken place in India right from 1947 to 1977. Still some more topics are there which I will continue in my next class. Thank you. Take care. Bye.